Dear students, today we have come with a new video of class 6 and the topic we have to discuss today, that is friction. Okay, so we all know we have started a new chapter, that is force. We have already done 2 classes on it, and in the last class we have learned about the types of force. We have learned there are 2 types of forces are there. One is contact and another one is non-contact force, and we have seen the examples also. Today we will discuss one of the very important contact force, that is friction. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the contact force, and as an example of contact force friction, I have given a little idea of it, and here we have to learn more on that. Assume I have an object like this. If I apply force on the object, you see, after going a certain distance, the object stops. You see, from here I am applying a force. After going a certain distance, it stops. So the question has come, whenever I have applied force on a body, that body should move with a speed. But why does the body stops after covering a certain distance? That means as I have given force on the body to move in my left hand side, there must be a force applying on the right hand side so that it opposes the motion of the body, and that's why it stops. That force which applied opposing the motion of a body, that is known as friction. So what is friction? We can say that friction is a kind of force which opposes the motion of a body. And that's why after covering a certain distance, the body stops. Not only that, if you see it by your general example around yourselves, assume you are coming by a cycle, okay, and you are paddling it, that's why it is going forward. If you stop paddling, you will see that after covering a certain distance, the cycle stops. What is the reason behind it? The reason is that whenever you are applying a force on a cycle, you just try to move it in the forward direction. Along with it, you are applying a force against the frictional force given by the road to the cycle. Okay, and that frictional force is just try to oppose it. Okay, and whenever you have stopped paddling, then the frictional force will give more effect on the body, and that's why the cycle stops after covering a certain distance. Okay, so whenever anyone tells us what is friction, that should be its definition, that it is a force which opposes the motion of a body. Clear? And it slows down the speed of the body also. Clear? Now the question has come, number 2 thing, that what is the cause of friction? Why does a body is being stopped, and what is the reason behind the friction? Let's see. So there are 2 reasons behind it. Number 1, that is intermolecular force between the 2 objects. Assume this is a plane and you have kept one object over here. So that object is made by some molecules, some particles, and that plane is also made by some particles. Whenever we have read the first chapter of our book, that is matter, there we have learned that there is a force acts between the molecules, and that is known as intermolecular force. An intermolecular force is of two types. Number one, it is cohesive force, and number two, it is adhesive force. Okay, now whatever the object we have kept here and whatever the plane on which the object is going to move, both the molecule is same. Assume it is a wooden box and the surface is also wooden. In that case, the force between the molecules are acting there. That is a cohesive force, because we know cohesive force is what? The force between two same kind of molecules. And if assume the object is made of wood and here the surface is made of stone, or it is made up by cement or something like that, so in that case there must be an adhesive force acting between the molecules. So adhesive force means they are just try to attract it, and whenever you just want to move it, you are applying a force, and that force is prevented by this adhesive force or cohesive force, which is acting between the two bodies, that is one body and the plane on which surface the body going to move. So that is one of the cause of friction. Clear? Number two, the irregular projections between the plane. What is the irregular projections between the planes? See, assume whenever we have seen a surface, just like if I am talking about this wooden surface, whenever we have seen it at a long distance, it seems to be very smooth. Here also, this one is also made by wood. Okay, so whenever I am applying a force, then you see after covering a certain distance it stops. So you will feel that, sir, it is this surface is also smooth, this surface it seems to be smooth. So why this motion is being opposed? If we have seen it more closely, means with the help of the microscope, then we'll feel that what surface I have told it is totally plain, there is some roughness are there on the surface, just like that. That roughness we cannot able to see by our naked eye, and the object I have kept over here, that is also having some roughness. Okay, and that also we cannot able to see by our naked eye. And whenever we are applying force here, that object is try to move over the surface, and this irregular projection, so irregular projection means the roughness for both the surface, that will just try to oppose the motion of the object. And that's why we can see there is a force which is acting in opposite direction, and that force is known as frictional force. Because whenever you have to push it, if it is, you see in this place, if it is not able to move, so here it will get a reflecting force, opposing force. That's why it is difficult to move the object over a surface. If you increase the roughness, then the movement of the body, it will be more difficult, and we can say that in a rough surface the frictional force is more. And if I am talking about a plain surface, smooth surface, though whatever the surface may be, it is not absolutely smooth, what may be, if it is smooth also, then it is easier to take an object from one point to another point, because in smooth surface the frictional force is less. So this is the definition of friction, and this is the cause of the friction. Clear? Next one we have to see the effects of friction. Okay, so what will happen due to the frictional force? So see, whenever I am talking about friction, friction means itself the frictional force. So frictional force and friction both are same thing. Okay, so effects of friction. Okay, let's see. So the effects we have seen almost in front of us. Number one, friction opposes motion. Friction opposes motion means we have seen exactly that whenever an object is just try to move over a surface, in between their contact, this force is acting so that it just try to oppose the body. I have shown you the example also that in the case of this object, when we have to apply force, after covering certain distance, it stops. Okay, it cannot able to move continuously because the motion is being opposed by the frictional force. Okay, where? At the very contact. So at this surface and the surface where it touches, in between this point, this frictional force acts, and that's why it opposes the motion. So what will happen for that? The body slows down, or sometime the body stops. That is the thing which occurs due to the friction. Number two, what is the number two effects are there? So it is not an effect, mainly here we just want to show you the direction of friction. So here we have to see that friction always acts opposite to the direction of motion. Friction always acts opposite to the direction of motion. See, in the previous class, I think in the first class of motion force, I have told you that when a body moves, then in that case there must be a force is applied on it, okay, to move a body. If the body is at rest, if I want to move it, I have to apply a force on the body. Assume you are applying a force from this side and another force is applied from another side, then what will happen? The motion of the body will be slow because you want to push the body in this direction, but some another force, assume one of your friend is coming in this direction, he is applying force here and you are applying force in this direction. If these two forces are equal, then the body will not move. It is called a balanced force, and I have shown you an image whenever we have shown you the PPT presentation that if a rope is pulled by two teams and in both the case the equal forces are applied, then the body will not move, and that is known as a balanced force. And when if the forces are not equal, then it is known as unbalanced force, and for that case the body will move. In the case of friction, we have seen that it just try to slows down the motion, and to slow down the motion, definitely we have to apply a force opposite to the motion of the body. Opposite to the motion means in which direction the force is applied to the body for motion, the frictional force acting opposite to it. So if I am talking about an object and you are applying force here to move the body, the frictional force act between the contacts of the two body. So the frictional force is acting opposite to the motion of the body. One thing you have to remember, that if the body is not moved till you are applying force, in that case also friction works. Okay, assume you are pushing an object and assume that object is too heavy, you cannot able to move it. So you might be thinking, so as the body is not moving, so that means there is no frictional force is acting on it. No, if the body is not moving also, as you have applied a force, the frictional force also acts on the body. And assume when the force you have applied, that is force applied, will be equal to frictional force, then the body will be at rest. These two forces are equal. It is the example of balanced force. Balanced force means when the two forces acting on a body in opposite direction is equal, then there will be no motion. So if I am applying a force on a body and the body doesn't move, it means that there is a friction acting in the opposite direction, and that force is also equal to the force we have applied. That's why the body is not moving. So the friction is always acting opposite to the motion of a body, or opposite to the motion, opposite to the tense of motion of a body. Means you are applying force to move a body, but the body is not moving, then also the friction is acting. And if the body is in motion, in that case also the friction is acting in opposite direction. Then you might be asking, sir, why does the body will move then? Assume whatever the force you have applied on a body, if it is F, and the frictional force is acting on a body, if it is small f, assume if capital F is greater than small f, then the body will move. Okay, so if a body moves also, in that case also friction will act. And if the body is static, in that case also, if you are applying a force on it, the frictional force will act on it. So that things we have to remember. Number 3, it's a very common thing. Friction produces heat. Example, at winter season we have done this thing. Ooh, it's too much cold. Whenever we rub our hands just like that, we feel that the palm of our hand, it is hot. Rub it and you feel it, it's hot. Now the question has come, as it is hot, that means here some heat energy is coming, some heat is produced. So from where the heat has come? The heat has come due to the friction. So as your hand, this surface is just try to move over this surface, then the friction is just try to opposing the motion. Okay, and in that case, this frictional force produce heat energy here. Not only that, if you are going by bus, by car, after going a long distance, if you touch their wheel, you will feel that it is hot. Okay, everywhere in earlier age, the people used to burn something, or people used to make the fire to rubbing the two stones. Okay, and that is also occurred due to the friction. Not only that, till now the matchbox we have used now, we just fire the match stick, that is also occurred due to the friction. If there is no friction, we cannot able to burn it. Clear? So that is one thing, that is friction produces heat. Number 4, friction causes wear and tear. It is very common example, and we all know that if an instrument works for a long time, then we all know there is a frictional force acting between the instruments, and then there is a wear and tear works. So it become loose if you work for a long time. It is weird, okay, and it is teared. So for that reason, if you use a machine for a long days, after some and then it will not be able to work, because the inner parts, the inner instruments, they are weird due to the friction. If you want to see the example also, then I will say, if you see the tire of the bus or car, whenever a new tire is fixed over it, then you see the tire is very heavy and it is makes some design overheat, and when the tire is used for long days, you will feel all the design gone out and the surface seems to be very plain. So how this thing is happened? Due to the wear and tear due to friction. So these four effects are there, what we have seen in case of friction. Okay, next thing we have to see the factors affecting the force of friction. Factors affecting the force of friction. So what are the factors are there by which we can able to reduce or we can able to increase the friction? That is the thing we have to learn here. Number one, that is very much common to you, that is smoothness of the surface. If the surface is smooth, just like assume it's a straight line, it's too smooth. Okay, so if the surface is smooth, then we can say that irregular projection we are talking about the surface, that is less. So if you apply force over here, then also little amount of friction will act here, but that friction will be very less. Okay, so that's why we just want to make a surface too plain so that it is easier to move over it, to easier to slide over it. Okay, I'm giving you an example. See, sometimes you have to see, to lift heavy objects, the people used to use the inclined plane. So inclined plane means a plane like this, it is kept this way. Okay, so here the force is applied, and by applying the force the object is taken to the height like this way. Okay, and this surface usually it is made too smooth so that we can easily take it over. Okay, and the friction will be less. Not only that, the sleepers we have seen in front of our school also we have seen sleepers. So we just want to make the sleepers too smooth so that one person will just sit over here, he can easily or she can easily come like this way. Okay, and if it is not smooth, it is rough, then what will happen, you know, the dress, your dress become weird and teared. Sometimes it happens na, if the surface is not smooth, it occurs that your pant, okay, your skirt, maybe it is weird and teared due to the friction. Okay, so by smoothing a surface, by taking the smoothness of the surface, we can able to reduce friction. And if assume the surface is like that, it is rough, so it is difficult to take an object over it, and in this case frictional force will be more. In this case F will be less and here the F will be more. So the smoothness of a surface, it plays a vital role in production of friction. Less smooth, more friction, more smooth, less friction. Number 2, nature of the medium in which the body moves. So whenever we are talking about the medium, the surface on which it can able to move, So that medium may be solid, that medium may be liquid, and that medium may be gas. So here we just want to see, if I change the medium, then how much friction is affected. So it is told the friction will be maximum in between solid and solid. That means if you want to take an object over a solid surface, so this object that is also solid and the surface on which you want to take that is also solid, in that case the frictional force will be more. So for solid we can say the frictional force, it will be more. Okay. Number 2, whenever we are talking about solid and liquid, that means if I am taking an object and I just want to take it over the liquid surface, it may happen that the boats, these are heavy surface, if I want to take it over the river, it is easier to take rather than if I pull the boat on the road, that is difficult to move, right? Assume the boats, we have seen the boats that is moves over the river. So boat is a solid surface. Okay, so if you want to give just connect a rope over there and just pull it on the road, so it is difficult to move because solid friction is more. But same thing, if you just pull it over the river, then it is easier to move over it. So for case of solid and liquid, that means if a solid moves over a liquid surface, frictional force will be less. Okay, less than the previous one. Number 3, if the solid surface move over a gaseous surface, okay, in that case it is the minimum one. Okay, in case of gaseous surface, it is the least one. So you might be asking, sir, solid, gas, where it is possible? See, in generally it is not possible on the surface of the earth, but you can feel it, you can assume it. That assume a balloon is given to you, and if you want to pull it over the solid surface, you'll try, then it is little bit of difficult and sometime it will burst because due to the friction. If you take that same balloon over the water, it can be pulled easily, okay, but then also you have to apply a force. But if you pull it in air, so it is very easy. So in solid gas, the frictional force is least. Okay, so these are the example where we want to show you that the nature of medium that plays a vital role to create the friction. Number 3, and this may be the last factor, that is the weight of the body. Okay, assume I have given 2 objects. This is an object and this is another object. Which one is easier to pull over the surface? This one or this one? You will say that to pull this surface, this one, I need to apply less amount of force. For this surface I have to apply more amount of force because this is heavy. So here also more heavy means more the frictional force acting on it. So in the 2 surface we can say that the more frictional force will act over it rather than it, because more weight, more friction. Okay, so later whenever you will go in higher classes, by using this idea only we have find one equation of friction, okay, that is just connected with the weight of the body. And here I am giving you an extra thing. Just remember, you might be thinking, sir, can the frictional force depends on the area of the contact? because we know now when it just try to move, the area of contact that plays any role. Here you will be astonished to listen that area of a surface doesn't affect the frictional force. Okay, you might be thinking, sir, why? This is a wooden object, this is a wooden object. If I want to pull both the object, okay, assume if the two object is having same weight, if, though it is not, if it is same weight, then the frictional force acting on the two body, it is same. You might be thinking, sir, here the contact portion over the surface is more in the scale, in this scale, and in this case the contact is less, but this contact doesn't give any effect on the friction. So area of contact, area of a surface, or you can say area of contact with plane, doesn't affect the frictional force. Whatever the area may be, it doesn't give any effect to the frictional force. The frictional force remains same. Frictional force is only affected by the weight of the body. It doesn't affect on the area of contact. Okay, that is a very important thing you have to remember. Clear? So I think as we have done 2 classes in a week, so for this class it is enough. I'll not move further, and on the next week I think we can able to complete the whole chapter 4. I think you have already seen the syllabus is given by the school, that the 3 chapters that will come in your first term, that is first, second and third chapter. Okay, so we will complete it in this week only, and after that we will do some revision, and then we'll move further, because when the exam will happen we don't know whether the school will open or not, whether the situation will be changed or not, we don't know. So after completion of the chapter 4, we will go for the another chapter, the next chapter. Okay, so don't be panicked that first term exam is only these 3 chapters, so why you are moving further. And one good news I have given, that the last chapter of your book, it will be cancelled for class 6. Okay, so you will give exam only for the final exam I am talking about. You will give only for the first 5 chapters up to light. So if we complete 4, there are 2 chapters left, that is simple machines and light. Okay, last chapter magnetism, it will be not in your syllabus of class 6. Okay, thank you. Stay happy and stay healthy. Bye.